Alright, back again running around in EverQuest. I just set some uploads in, so I don't have anything to do. Everybody was busy today and didn't show up for my Scarecrow game. So I'm now in Sareth, the City of Tides, with my alts. Most everything here doesn't see me except these weird little dog things, so I'm just making sure none of them are around. That war beast thing, that can see me, and I don't think he can. Differently, yeah, let's just go like this. And then stop and make sure there's none of them little war beasts around. You have to enter the gate from this side because there's a whole stack of war beasts right there along the other side. See them all sitting right there? You don't want them to see you. They'll come after you at the same time. The rest of my group is right over there. So let's... that wasn't a brilliant plan. Let me find a ladder and get my butt up out of here. Okay, I saw a ladder here somewhere. Oh, I missed it. It must be right there. There it is. It doesn't go up the ladder anymore. If I could have sworn you were allowed to go up ladders. Alright, let's find our way out. Going up the mountain over here. I'm bound to be allowed to do that. Alrighty then. Freedom! Almost where we need to go. It's a war beast. I bet you can see me here too. Straight across through here. Another of my characters will be standing on the wall right over here. I have my two alts in. My alts are an enchanter and a beast lord. That. Alright, they're set up so they don't do anything. I just have to push a couple buttons for everything to happen. So, let's bring the mobs in. Oh, I guess it would help to invite these people, wouldn't it? Then I would have all my healers and everything. Let's invite Quinn. Her mercenary will help. There's Jerini. We'll invite them. Alright. That helps immensely. Those ones very much. I'll make our chat a little bigger. I had it smaller for my opening screen. So it's EverQuest anniversary month. They have a big to-do every year. They have games in different zones. Earlier today was the Tipsy Gnome race. You make a level 1 gnome and then you get him drunk and you try to run around a zone or around a certain area. The game masters or GMs are in. Managing games like that, they'll have riddle masters, all kinds of special mobs are up. The anniversary mobs only come up once a year. You can get things. Alright. I am the main looter, so set them all to live on corpse. My son didn't mention that to me, that when I went on Throne of Eye, I wouldn't have an automatic loot system anymore. Now we'll bring him back here so he's closer to the group. I think he knocked me forward a little too. Alright, let's go ahead and send our pets for these things. Is my assist not working? Set us as group assist here. Let's try that again. Alright, let's find out what our assist button says we're supposed to be doing. Group, okay. Well, let's move off the mob and back on him again and see if that'll help us. I don't know why it's not working. I'm confused. There we go, that one's working. Not much here I want, so I'll just go ahead and leave it all on the corpse. There's some trade skill items with the spider webs and stuff, but I'm not doing any trade skills, and they're not particularly important ones right now anyway, so there, what? There, now my assist works. My kids were saying if they'd have known how much people... Well, hello. You like EverQuest? It's been around a long time, 19th anniversary this year. I've been playing it, this will make 14 years. Once I figured out how much I've paid for it over the year, there's no way I'm going to quit playing it. I'll play it till they shut the servers down. Keep summoning me backwards. I've got my 3 characters up here. I have my main here, a Shadow Knight. I've also got an Enchanter and a Beast Lord. Yeah, EverQuest lost a lot of people to World of Warcraft. But a bunch of them have been trickling back in, going, I haven't played in 10 years. So I have my alts here set up so that they've got hotkeys. I can just hit a button and they'll do all their spells and things that are important. Chris, is how you pronounce your name? Do you have a channel? Or are you just a watcher? I can say World of Warcraft did have some beneficial effects in forcing EverQuest to do some things that it hadn't done before. It entered an achievement system, which doesn't give you a whole lot of rewards, but it is there. And I think they improved the spell icons, and there's a couple other things that they've done that were inspired by competing with World of Warcraft. They put in the property and the housing and everything. No one uses them very much because it was really just an afterthought, so there's not a whole lot of real use for it in the game itself, but they get their share of your virtual money that way. Yeah, I thought it might be Chris. I wasn't sure if it was Chris or Chrissy. I assumed that would be a silent E. I was a watcher for a long time. I didn't come on EverQuest, on YouTube much at all. And then in spring of 2016, I broke my leg really bad. And it didn't take me long. I mean, I was sick of television by the time I spent my 2 weeks in the hospital. Ah, yes. Well, homesteading is a good thing. No matter how much or how little of it you do, it's always a good thing. It's not spelled Charisse. It's spelled Cur-is. I mean, you do have the problem with people pronouncing your name, but it's always fun to have an unusual name. My name is Sue, Susan, Susie. There's only so many versions of that, and everyone has used them all. Alright, one little feller runs around down here. Is he nearby? Nah, he's clear at the other end. We'll go over this way. Become invisible for a second, just in case anybody's lurking over here that I don't know about. What part of the United States do you live in? The north, the south, the east, the west? Right in the middle? Washington. Ah, I'm in Montana. While near each other, our climates are nothing alike. I'm still under a foot of snow. So after I hung out on YouTube for a while, learning to build chicken feeders and chicken tractors, I started to realize that I have a lot of knowledge I could share with people. Made a bunch of friends and they wanted me to start, so I started a channel. Wet slugs. You got the big, giant, ugly slugs. So I started by just reading a couple of books. It got me into it. It also provides some fill. So it doesn't take me very long to read a book and arrange the pictures in an editor. So I have that on my regular 3 days. 3 days. 4 days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday generally. Saturday I try to put something else on, and then, you know, different things. The Homestead World collaboration, or 3 new things we're planting this year. They come out on the in-between days. I've got some other stuff going. I want to do a... You keep summoning me back down here. I want to do a beginning garden series, because a lot of people are confused on how to start a garden. One of my books is about composting and soil that I'm reading. Yes, I went through a bunch on the playlist this morning. I collected them up in a playlist at my place as well. The more playlists your videos are on, the more YouTube thinks everybody loves ya. I have a gamer friend who is down in Texas, and he said he gardened for quite a while, and then his garden just got, you know, non-productive, and that he had tried to add soil. He went and bought potting soil and added, and he didn't understand why it wasn't helping any. It wasn't soil going to make his plants grow better, and I had to point out to them that bags of garden soil are not really soil, or not really fertile soil. They're just a substance for the plant to grow in. And so I've got him started finding a source for manure. Said he might be able to find composted manure locally. If not, I mean, even the stuff in the bags at the grocery store, as long as it's composted manure, should make a big difference for his garden. So yeah, that's what I told him. He didn't understand that compost contains the nutrients that you need. People don't realize that soil itself is not what the plant uses. It just holds the water and holds the nutrients near it. It's the nutrients that water picks up as it passes through the soil that make your plants grow. That's why hydroponic plants can do so well, because they can be in some substrata that'll provide enough for them not to fall over. Yeah, so he's really excited. That's the next chapter that's coming up on the Secrets to Great Soil. Chapter 3 is all about compost piles and composting. I mean, and he's in Texas, so that's going to be, I mean, unless he's in straight clay or something, I assume he's probably in a really sandy soil. So it's not going to hold any moisture around it. And the compost will also absorb moisture, hold it and release it out into the soil. Also, I think to his benefit, I believe he's letting it go fallow this year. He said he started a new job and that he thought he wouldn't. It was kind of late. He had gotten frustrated with it. Now that he knew what to do, he thought he would start a garden, but then he got the new job. And so he said he thought he might do a little bit, maybe plant some small things in there. But just leaving it fallow for a year can be just great for your soil. You with the rain and us with the snow and rain put a lot of nutrients into your soil. So I've only done a couple of live streams, but just the couple of live streams that I did have doubled my watch time. I don't have very far. I only have like 20 hours of watch time if I'm lucky. I'm just under 2,000 minutes. And I believe the monetization level is 4,000 hours. So I've still got a ways to go, but I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to educate people, help them grow good food in their garden, or raise some chickens. Because it's not only good for the world, it's good for you. Woo. Got summoned again. You know, like those elderly people, if they have a pet to take care of, they hang on to life a little more. Well, I like to think if you have animals to take care of, it grounds you to your home more. Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah, it'll be a long time before I have to worry about my minutes. I've got a long way to go. But as you get more subscribers and you start doing more things, more people show up. And surprisingly, some of my best shows, my best scoring videos for watch time have been my little hangman game. I wasn't sure how many people would want to watch it afterwards, but people watch Wheel of Fortune, so it's a lot like that. And I thought, wow, and then I went and looked and I've gotten large amounts of watch time for that. I was at like 900 minutes and now I'm up at 1800 minutes, and all I did over the weekend was 2 streams of Hangman, Scarecrow, and a couple little short videos of EverQuest, because that's what I do when I take my time off. I go whack things in the head. Can't do it in real life. You got to do it somewhere. Sometimes you just got to whack somebody in the head. And I choose you. That's a quest giver. We're not going to kill him. I don't think they'll let us anyway. Is this guy back here? I'm keeping my eye there because there's that big blobby guy will spawn right there and make our life miserable if we happen to be running by at the same time he shows up. He's this big white glob right here. I think they set all these things to summon. I swear they didn't summon before. I swear they didn't summon last week. So in my first live stream, I did a little EverQuest, just for 30 seconds to see how long it took it to process the video, upload it and process the video, because I wanted a short one. It takes about a half hour for whatever size video you're putting in. It may take a little longer for a longer video, but it takes about a half an hour. I think this computer is set to stream in HD, which is just gorgeous. But once it gets in, EverQuest has to make proxies of all the lesser versions of it. It's got to make a 720 and a 480 and a 360 and what, a 144 or whatever. Help if I pushed all the buttons, things would die faster. Then my second video, we went to, I think it was my second and my third. I think I might have taken one of my EverQuest ones and quit EverQuesting and showed someone a Gardener's Supply garden planner. I don't know if you are familiar with square foot gardening, but they have a great square foot gardening planner on there. They have pre-built gardens that you can buy seeds for or just get the idea from. And then they also have a place where you can organize your garden the way you want as well. You can set up if you want to have broccoli here and radishes there. So I might go take a look at that. Yeah, isn't that neat? The garden planner or square foot gardening? Could have sworn I had a guy following me. He is not following me now. Maybe that's him dead right there. No, I just didn't get him. Ah, yeah. Well, I thought it was really neat. I'm usually busily active outside. I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube. I come in the evening and play my EverQuest. I usually don't go wandering around a lot, but it was sure neat to find that. Yeah, I bought Mel's Square Foot Gardening book back in 1980. But I also remember when early HGTV had the Square Foot Gardening series on it. I probably even have that on video around here somewhere. On videotape. Is my music too loud? I think this song has gone a little louder than the music that was running before. Speaker's pretty far from it, but it's a snowball, so it can pick up stuff. When my kids game together, the one computer in the front room can pick up everybody in the kitchen better than it picks up anybody near it. Great. Just wanted to make sure. I'm running H-Top Music. They have free music. They have a nice playlist of it, and I just let it stream. Turns out YouTube has a pretty strict filter on the live music, or on the checking the copyright on music in your live stream. Music that I would have normally been able to put out in a video is grabbed real quick in a live stream. So I have to find someone. I will take that diamond though. See, there's that fellow over there. I'm gonna go ahead and sit just for a moment and med up. So do you have land over where you live, or are you living in the city? My sister lives over in Seattle. My sister-in-law used to live there. My niece was born over there and grew up there for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years before they moved back here. Oh, 5 acres, that's nice. Just enough room to spread your elbows, but not too much to mow. Well, I wouldn't want to mow 5 acres, but you know what I mean. Keep enough animals, keep it mowed down or something. Do you have trees, or is it open land? Yes, I have 11 acres. We don't walk on most of it. It's wooded. Oh, I wish I would have woods. I have dry sagebrush land. No, I have no lawn. We're on dry land. In anything you want, you have to water. And it's a lot of work to drag hoses very far from a well. Where you watch the things so you know a little bit about my sloping dry land. It's probably about 10-degree slope. Yeah, maybe 10-degree slope up the front side, and then we own a saddle on the top of the hill, and then there's kind of a hello, Ken Master, and then there's kind of a bowl in behind that we own part of. Oh, that's nice, yes. Our family all lives on the farm, and when I go, I'd like to split it up among the kids. Just medding to get myself a little more mana here. I'm playing EverQuest in a break between putting up some videos. We're in Sereth, City of Tides. Let me make myself bigger here. Forgive that. We're on the edge of an ocean that's out there. And then this is a deep hole kind of thing that things live in. And then, as you can see, that lighthouse. There is one other place over here I have never explored. Yeah, my kids, I have one at home that's young, but the rest are adults, but they all live there. Let me stand up. Let me make sure I'm floating. Become invisible. I think you can get into this boat over here. And let me run over there and see what's happening. Okay. They don't see me. I'm gonna go out around. Oh, I guess that thing sticks up out of the ocean. There. That is this thing here on the map. I've never gone out in the ocean. It's a giant shell. That reminds me of the big shell snail thing from Dr. Dolittle. Okay, another tidal guardian. Oh, what's the boat like? No, there's some guys here. Ah, that would be why people camp the boat. I like my little corner. Only one thing ever wakes up over there, and I can usually keep an eye out on him. I don't get mobbed by too many things. This is EverQuest. It's the 19th anniversary this month. I've been playing EverQuest for about 14 years. These are my 3 characters here that I'm playing at the same time. Let me move her over and I will show you them. Let's go somewhere in there where we can see what we're doing reasonably. There we go. We have Quindariel, my enchanter. She casts spells and does crowd control. Perhaps can see some mod character out of you there. Go ahead and support each other up. Find a channel that you like. And that's my Beast Lord up there. Her name is Jerini. Now that I'm on level with her, we can see her a little better. And her kitty cat. She is moderate DPS. If I ever get more than 5 people in my room at the same time, I might consider a moderator. But I have been lucky so far, and I haven't had any trouble with trolls. Alright, so let's bring that feller over here. As a Shadow Knight, I can pull their spirit to me. And then the mercenary will pretty much take care of it. We're going to go ahead and tell Jerini to send her pet. And Quinn will do her thing. She has a debuff that goes on them first called Tash that makes them more vulnerable to other buffs. And then I believe she chokes them here a couple of times. And then I also have some nukes. Woohoo! Free watching. Does it count me? Am I one of the participants? Yeah, it's counting me. So it's just the two of us, two of yous. I have to move over just a hair. Move over just a hair. What are you doing? Go back. Thank you very much. Get back over there. I have no idea. Oh, my chat is gone. I'll guess somewhere around there. And then she has her nuke set. So when I... There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it counted me. To actually be on the mob. So, do you garden, Ken? I'm generally a homesteading channel, so I do a lot of farming and gardening. Want to get doing cooking when I get back on my feet. I had a bad leg break in 2016, and that got me on YouTube. I'm not on a cane. I was on a walker until last fall, early in the fall, and then I was able to use the cane, the 4-footed cane, which was good because I'm not old enough for a walker yet. Now I can kind of hobble around. I've just got to get stamina. I need to get the last few pounds. I mean, I do exercises to stand on my bad foot, my bad leg, but there's a lot of hanging on to walls, and I'm definitely not going to stand one-footed on that leg for a while. But then I want to start doing some cooking. Then hopefully I'll be outside. I've had 2 winters, or 2 summers without going outside, and I've had enough. I want me some sunlight. Well, that's interesting. Do you have a dairy, or do you just get the milk to make cheese with? Yes, I can sympathize with the shoulder as well. I had a rotator cuff injury. Or they thought it was a rotator cuff injury, and it turned out to just be a burr that was inside when they went in to do the rotator tear. It turned out to be a lot easier to do, and I got a lot more movement. I got like 90% of the movement from my shoulder back. People asked me, how did I hurt my leg? That's not too bad. I fell out of a flying horse cart. It was moving way out of control, and I had to dive out, and I didn't land very well. But when they asked me how I hurt my shoulder, I'd like to say skiing or skydiving or something, but I was putting packages of Twizzlers on a shelf. I reached out forwards and across my body, and pow, my shoulder went. Oh, yum. Real fresh dairy milk, huh? All the fun of a dairy without all the responsibilities. Yeah, these things didn't used to summon. They did not summon. That is complicating my day. Come to me. Oh, my mercenary pulled him back. Come to me, butthead. Ouch, yes. Arms suck, but I would have traded my broken leg for a broken arm any day. It was 2 months in external traction because I was out in the countryside when it happened. It was like an hour before the ambulance got to me. Another half hour for the ambulance ride to the hospital. So it was 2 months there, and then I had surgery. So it was another couple of months before they even let me out of bed. But by then I had absolutely no strength in my leg whatsoever. So I was just about on my feet, and then I fell in the night and I broke it again above the knee. Because, you know, I don't do anything by halves. It'll be that way. I'm just going to use that one and pull you here. So then I had to go and I had to do surgery and get another plate and endless number of screws in the top of my leg. Yeah, I'm really afraid of falling. So I'm not out at the farm. I'm in town, staying with relatives. I'm figuring another couple of weeks and the snow will be gone. I'll be able to get out there. We have a really long driveway from where we parked the car to the house. It's a long walk, and it was just not worth it. It's not set up so that anybody could even push me in a wheelchair up there. So I just stayed here. And I can't wait to be home again. So that was in the fall of 2016 that they broke it the second time. So I spent all the last year getting strength back and bending. I still only have 90-degree bend on my knee. It just bends like you're sitting. It bends straight down, and it gets almost straight, but not quite. So between the missing bone from the break and the slight bend, my two legs aren't the same length. So when I go out and walk, I'm like old grandpa on the Real McCoys, how he would walk with that hop in his step and his elbows would go up in the air. I'll have to go find a clip of that and put it in one of my videos so everybody can laugh at me. If I had a video camera, I'd put it on and everybody could laugh at me in person, because it's pretty hysterical. I can move along at a pretty good pace now, though. I could sneak up on family. Used to, they could hear me coming. Now I can hobble right in behind him. And let's pull him over here. There we go. But luckily, yes, I have a whole house full of grown kids. Lots of relatives, so they were able to take up all my chores, taking care of all my beasties. Took the year off last year, but I let my pigs together to get frisky, so I should have babies in between April and July. I didn't want to have everybody taking care of them. I'm the homesteader one. They all take care of, they're all good at taking care of their parts. My one son's big on tractors and repairing, so he takes care of that stuff. And they all put in money for the farm. Yes, I love baby pigs. They're so much fun. They're so active. They like practically like march out of mama's butt. So they just come out and they're walking. It's the sow's first litter, so I can't say how perfect it'll come out. Sometimes they don't do very well with their first one. We don't do anything about any specific crate or anything for him to be in. She's separated from the male, and she'll have a house with a spot so she can't lay on him. And just an A-frame. Keep her body up out of the way from them. It would have been her first breeding season last year, but I didn't want to have to burden everybody with everything. I also raised Siamese cats, so another one of my kids had to take over taking care of my kitty cats. They forgot the rule about letting the boys and the girls out together, so they had themselves some extra work last year. They had babies to take care of because I didn't breed, because I didn't want them to have to take care of my kittens either. It was kind of funny. They were like, "Mom, I forgot, and I let the boys and the girls out together." And I said, "Well, 2 months we'll know." And you know cats, sometimes all they have to do is look at each other and they can come up pregnant, so they took really good care of them. I raised Siamese and Munchkin. I have a Munchkin male that's kind of like the Basset Hound of cats, or a Dachshund of cats, has short legs. And then I breed that with my Siamese. And so the kittens will either come out regular looking Siamese, or they will come out short-legged Siamese. He does have a short-legged Siamese daughter that I breed with my Siamese male. Because my Siamese male said, "Wait a minute, you be bringing in the other boy, what do we get?" I said, "I'll figure it out, boys." I have a long-haired Siamese male, or no, a long-haired Siamese female, and then a standard black and white Siamese, the seal point. Those are my two girls, and then I have the long-haired Siamese daughter out of my long-haired Munchkin male. So I have the 3 girls and I have 3 boys. So they each got themselves a mate that they work up with, because the Munchkin can't breed back to her dad. It's a gene where if you have one of the genes, you have the gene. It's kind of like being a calico cat. But if you have 2 of the genes, it tends to be lethal. So if you breed 2 Munchkins together, you can get short-legged kittens, but often you'll just get one kitten because the other ones will die. And that's a horrible, horrible thing to do. So the little Munchie girl will breed to a standard Siamese, and she still has the ability to give that Munchkin gene to her babies. And then I'll have 1 batch of purebred Siamese. Yes, that's a seal point. When Siamese kittens are born, they are white, no matter what color they're going to be when they grow up. You can start within 24 to 48 hours, start to see the color coming in. The ones that stay really pale white are usually like a flame point or a light blue point. but the other ones will start darkening. And the Siamese cat will darken for their whole life. And by the time they're 6 or 8 years old, they can be almost black over their entire body. You can just, like you said, in the sunlight, see where the color on them is really dark. And that black, like it would be black and white if it was in a lighter colored Siamese. That's called seal point, seal brown or seal black. That's the dominant color. A black Siamese like that can carry the genes for any color underneath. I like the Siamese. Meow. Siamese have so much personality. They're not like other cats, you know, that are just all standoffish. Siamese will do tricks. They're a very doggy cat. Mine will chatter, but I have a spray bottle, and they learned quickly what the word no means. And they get sprayed. They're pretty good at it. All I gotta go is make sound like the spray bottle, and they get that guilty look on their face like, oops, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was really amazed. It took me a long time to find purebred Siamese. So, in raising them, I have a pretty good amount of people that are looking for them. So many people just let their cats and dogs roam around outside. Finding a purebred of anything can be a challenge nowadays, especially with all the exotic crosses. Oh, you crossed a Labrador and a Poodle, and you gave it a name. Wow, we had a name for him too. We called him Mutts. I mean, there is a lot of hybrid vigor in them, and it's good for the breeds. They've been bred down into their own self for so long, but the money they ask for what is essentially a crossbreed, a mutt. There we go. I believe now I can hit that one and it'll launch. Okay, there we go. So, what are we looking at? 47 minutes. I'm going to play a little bit longer, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I'm going to do some more exercises for my leg. I'm working hard. When I get outside, I want to be able to go places and do things, not just stand around or sit around, as the case may be, I guess, huh? Well, my horse is standing up there for 2 years in her pen. I know she's just laughing at me. It wasn't her fault. She was in training. I was working the cart over at the trainer's house. It was the first time she was attached to my cart as opposed to the trainer's cart. And I guess the horse in the adjacent paddock hadn't seen a cart like that before, because it bolted, and she saw him bolt out of her blinkers, and boom, off she went. We were going 20 miles an hour. We had to bail because there wasn't much more of the pasture left before there was a fence. And I'm glad I bailed, because after I landed, she hit the end of the pen and turned around and started to come back this way. The cart went, flipped over and broke it. Ha 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 ha. Yes, it does do that. That's why I invented the Scarecrow game, because when people are guessing trivia and things like that, it can use up so much of your YouTube's allowing you to talk. Oh yes, and so I was laying there, and the horse is coming back at me, and I was like, okay, I've got to move, right? And I'm laying on my left side, and it didn't hurt when I hit the ground. Nothing hurt at all, right? And I'm laying there on my left side, and my foot is laying on the ground on its left side, and I went to move to the right to get out of the way. I didn't want this horse coming back running over me. And I moved to the right, and my leg just laid there, pointing left. It's like, hubby, I broke my leg. And he says, how do you know? Yeah, I think I know. I'm going, and it's not. I'm going to sit for 1 sec, hit some mana. Yeah. I was lucky it didn't hurt, because I did have to wait an hour. A lot of choice words coming out my mouth. It was April, beginning of the year. I mean, up here the summers are so short. You cherish every second of it. But so I thought, 6 weeks, right? I broke my leg. I'll be 6 weeks. I'll still see some summer. And they started explaining the 2 plates and 23 screws for my lower leg. Yippee skippy. It's a whole lot of no fun. But I always said I'm a nonconformist, so if everybody else gets a normal leg break, I'm not. Yeah, and then I have a plate and probably 15 more in the upper. I broke, when I fell the second time and broke the upper part of my leg, I broke the knobs off the end of the femur bone. I broke both of them off, so the break went right across the knobs of the bone. When you haven't walked on your leg for a period of time, your body starts taking back all the strength that it's given to it. If you've ever seen astronauts, they can't do much when they get back from being in orbit or whatever. Not only just weakness, but in bone breaks. Yeah, so as if my knee wasn't compromised enough with the bottom. Luckily, I'm not a mountain climber or a ballet dancer. If I was, my career in ballet is now over. Oops. So as long as I can walk and go upstairs. I just did a test the other day to figure out if I can get up off the ground. Turns out I can do it. I got a lot of ballast from sitting in the hospital bed and sitting around at home, and if you break a bone like that, it is more hunger than when you're pregnant. You are just literally starving to death as your body is trying to repair that. So I gained too darn much weight, and so I had that to deal with on top of it all. So I gained, more than 50 pounds easily. I've taken probably 30 of that off since I healed, and I'm not starving anymore, because I used to just be endlessly just looking for food like some kind of little killer zombie. And then it quit. I can have a salad. My whole day was just fine with that salad. So I hope once I get walking again, once I can get cooking again, I'll go low carb. You don't want to be too mean to the people preparing food for you when you're sitting in your butt saying, feed me. They'd be like, what do you want? I don't know, whatever you can fix. Just feed me. I'm not going to claim up something. How do I know how complicated your kitchen is being right now? You could have a sink full of dishes or not have any blank in the refrigerator. The only thing that we did do a lot of was getting firewood. And I'm the main instigator of that. I love to roam around in the woods and climb hills and cavort with the druids in the forest. So my kids have all grinned and put in money to buy firewood. I bet you they continue to do it now that they've discovered that they can just pay money and get pretty good firewood. We were lucky to find a guy with a really good price, and so it didn't cost us too much to do that. But I bet you they'd be just like, Mom, we'll just give you the money. It only costs us $200 each to give you money. It's their money, they earn it. They already give me a chunk of their money anyway. The general farm duties. But my one boy likes to play with tractors. He's like 28 this year. So he has a big Farmall tractor. They all got tired of pushing round bales off of our flatbed truck. There's like 4 of them pushing a round bale. It's hardly hard work. When they were little kids, me and Daddy pushed round bales all the time, but now they're pushing them. All of a sudden we need a tractor. So the first one we got was a little Ford Workmaster tractor. My son wanted that because it has a live PTO. It was never intended to be immediate use, so that's good because it runs, but its engine needs some work. So he working on that, but he saved up his money and bought a Farmall, a big one, to move the bales around. And I mean, it's a big one, and it runs good. So they move my bales with it. And that's why, specifically why he picked that. But the little Workmaster is because it has a live PTO and it can do all kinds of different things that a regular PTO can't do. I don't know. Not a tractor guy. Yeah, so in the video, 200 subscribers, thank you, about me. At the end of that, you can see the horse cart and the horse I originally started out with. There's a picture of my little troublemaker as well. But my horse cart doesn't look as beautiful as that now. It's just a jumbled mess. Luckily, they're welders and fixers, so we'll see. I might just end up having to sell it for parts. The trainer took her out, and we were all worried that might have frightened her. She might have picked up a fear from that, but this trainer says I took her out and drug tires and hitched her to the cart, and she doesn't mind it at all. So, you know, at least it didn't ruin her training, because I was just so sad. I was like, I just spent all this money to get her trained up for this, and here I am, blew it all. So when I get walking, I'll do some ground driving with her, see if we can get the cart working or not. At the most, I'll make a stone boat and make her drag dirt stone around. It's a big flatbed sludge that they can tow around. Yeah, and I have a couple little ponies. She was my big girl. The trainer had her for another 2 months afterwards, and yeah, about 2 months. I got her back in, it was more than 2 months. Got her back in August. So it was April, May, June, July, August. So I kept her there for 4 more months, and she actually rode her during that time for me that I didn't even pay for. I just paid for to take care of her. I think the trainer felt a little guilty that had happened. I mean, it wasn't anybody's fault. It's a live animal. It can make decisions on its own, and sometimes they're just not the right decision. Look at him pull that mob back. He's got quite a taunt. And she even trained her to mount from the other direction, because it's my bad leg is my left leg, and so I'm not going to be able to bend that to get it up into a stirrup. So luckily I was able to, will be able to get on from the right side. And that's all kinds of fun things you practice when you're a kid, getting on from the wrong way. Horses aren't necessarily trained for that, and they can spook if you haven't given them the plans. Yeah, well, like I said, I think she felt a little bit guilty. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. So I'm going to be calling it here in a little bit. Unless you'd like to chat some more. I don't want to be keeping you around, but I'm not doing anything. If you'd like to keep chatting, I'll keep playing. When they asked for the 3 new things I'm growing this year, that was anything. I haven't grown anything in years. The last new thing I grew was Egyptian walking onions. Oh no, you're not keeping me at all. I started YouTube for just somebody to talk to. A lot of my kids work nights, so I don't see them here very often. And then Grandma works. One of the kids stays here. Grandma has balance problems, so somebody stays here so that if she has any trouble or she needs anything, she can ask them to help her. But working nights and days, I don't see anybody, so I don't really have anybody to talk to. She can tell by me rambling on. So I spent a lot of time chatting in EverQuest windows with people, and I should be sitting down. I'm never going to get my mana back. Let's do that. So Wenatchee's on the east side of the mountains. So out kind of more in that, not really dry land, but you're starting to head out towards Idaho that way. I dream about having a garden up there in the banana belt like Kalispell and up through the Idaho panhandle, but land is so expensive up there. I have family down in this area. Well, my husband has family down in this area, so we'll probably just stay here. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of how it is here. We're on the west side of the Rockies, and it's really cold, and we have no growing season. But if you just go over the mountains down into Whitehall and that area over there, you get another month of growing season almost. But again, land is expensive over there if the farmers use it all. So I just put in a greenhouse and do what I do. I didn't choose my land to be a homestead. I was lucky to find something. I got my land for $500 down and $200 a month for 10 years. Long time ago. It's kind of a little comedy. The guy that owned our land and house, his relatives lived next door. So we bought a truckload of firewood, basically. Oh yeah, I mean it's only 20 miles from Butte to Whitehall, but it's a big drop in elevation because Butte is a mountain valley. And then, of course, we live down in the mountains out south of Butte, so. And I was saying something, and I promptly forgot about it. Oh, he bought a truckload of logs, and I don't know if he had somebody else cut them down 2 sides or if he did that himself. And then he built himself a log house, and it's not bad. He didn't pay a whole lot of attention to straightness. I got some walls that'd make you laugh, but he made the walls 8 foot tall, and then he went inside and put in 16-inch floor joists. So my ceilings are 6'6", maybe, to the bottom of the beams on the inside, and then my floor sits above the beams, so we got a little headroom in between the beams. We call our friends all call our house the Hobbit house, because our tall friends can't visit over. So we have the short little lower level, and then we built it just lately. We took the roof off because it was really horrible. I have some pictures I can show sometime. And we put an extension on the upstairs. We put a whole floor on up there instead of just a roof attic-y thing. And so my hubby went full 8 feet tall on that. I'd have just gone 6 feet, but he didn't want to cut all the pieces of wood. I'd have gone 6 on the outside edge and 8 feet on the inside or something. It would have been fine. Yeah, well, that's a log cabin. You learn to live with that. My floor is kind of a floating floor above the beams, because he alternated the beams in the front room. They're like 4 feet apart. And he put skinny, fat, and he alternated them, but that doesn't make an even anything. When we started one way and leveled with it, we were ending up on the other side cutting like 4 inches into these beams, and they're only an 8-inch beam, and it was like, well, I ain't gonna do that. And you go from the other way, and that's what we had to do. We went from that way to the other way, and by the time you get to the other side, they're like on a 2x6. I don't know, maybe you're supposed to put some kind of shims to level it or something. I don't know. I didn't try to lay a visible floor over it. A lot of times on a log cabin, you'll just lay the floor that's really thick planks right on top of those beams. But I didn't do that. I built, I think we set 2x4s on one side and ended up with 2x6s on the other. Because 2x4 spans 4 feet really easily. We had the short roof, the short ceiling upstairs. And I couldn't give away any more than that. And we're currently working on a garage out in the back. My son's looking forward to that, to be able to have a place to work on things at. Well, I have regained my mana. Things will die once again. There's somebody has come up. And that'll give I've got an upstairs on the garage, and that'll give a bit of an extended area to the upstairs. Kids get bigger, we need a little more room all the time. I have 5 kids, so tend to take up space. But it's Montana anyway. I mean, I didn't mind too much that we bought dry land, because horses are on hay most of the year around here anyway. What are you going to do? Get two months of grass that you can feed them for free? The rest of the time you got to pay for it anyway, so really isn't all that big a deal. And if I don't have 1,000 acres to graze them on, I'm going to be buying hay. And I have ponies, so it's not quite so bad. I tell my hubby 3 ponies equals 1 big horse. So I only have 1 plus horses. I have 3. I have 1 horse and 2 ponies. Veterinarians don't think so. They charge you the same if they gotta doctor them. When I raise the Morgan ponies, I have a friend with a Morgan Stallion that I breed to occasionally. Look at those. Everybody's on a break for that too. Luckily they were open that year, so nobody had to worry too much about that. Might have 2 this time. See some real class now, man. Remember to hit everybody so I have some help. There we go. Yeah, so we have the greenhouse because outdoors we can grow cabbage plant family, peas, spinach, lettuce, itsy tiny carrots, and radishes, and potatoes. Potatoes grow really well outdoors. If you get a nice short season potato. Oh, yes. An Arabian Connemara would be beautiful. I teased everybody about having their mutt dogs, and then I raise mutt horses, right? Slightly different use in the horse, though. I wanted the temperament of the Morgan in a smaller size for children. Morgans themselves can be a small horse, but just right on the verge of horse pony size is not so welcoming to a small child. Although up here everybody puts their kids on a giant quarter horse, so. When I was in the Canal Zone, I owned quarter horse thoroughbred. In Panama, they had a racetrack, so there were a lot of thoroughbreds that were on the racetrack, and they would sell to people when they would no longer be racing, you know, in a claiming race or something like that. Which was better than getting electrified and fed to the lions at the zoo in Panama. Because in the center track of the center area of the racetrack, they had a zoo with lions, and so it's not a good thing to be a loser at that racetrack. They could get away with that being. It was back at the 70s, and they're in another country, so. But there was a place up in the interior of Panama and Pononame that brought a quarter horse down with in a horse trailer from Texas. Their son went to veterinary school at Texas A&M, and so they brought a quarter horse down and they bred him to the local mares and then to thoroughbred mares. And so when I graduated off of a bush pony, I had a couple of the quarter horse thoroughbreds, and that's kind of what got me started in a really versatile horse. Morgans are of nature a versatile horse. They can do driving and stump pulling and racing, and they have a really snappy trot. The standard bred racehorse came from the Morgan breed. Ethan Allen was a Morgan and was a big trotting horse. All of the first original records for breaking records for speed at the trot was Morgan's. But then they started breeding specifically for that and losing the rest of the things that Morgans can do, and therefore they invented the standard bred. You little silly thing. Alright. Keep summoning me! Okay, now we got him here. But I liked the versatility because I had just my one pony and he had to do everything. My little pony would start out the day in English equitation, and then he would do jumping, and then he would do Western equitation, and then stock seat and hunter classes, and then we would do pole bending and barrel racing and relay race and pickup, all on the same little pony, all in the same day. So when I chose a breed, I chose Morgans for their versatility. Plus they need the hardiness up here in Montana. And then, like Siamese cats, I found their personality. Yes. Yeah, well, some they did better than others. But he did still try. Sounds like the record's stuck. Let's play something else. I don't like to hear your CD get stuck. Flick that needle. Tap the turntable. Tap the turntable. So I love the changing in seasons, but I do miss being able to swim in the beach and in the ocean. Because we had oceans everywhere. Spent a lot of time outside. I thought I already did when I said I look like from the real McCoys, right? If I have kids that are 28 and 30 years old, I can't be too young. Had to get old enough to manage that, you know. Although I did have kids fairly young. I didn't rush straight into it, though. That's why I did the tease when I put out my About Me video. Would that I still looked as nice as I did on the thumbnail. That was my first year of college. Ah. My friends were teasing me though, wouldn't I show them what I look like? And he said, well, if you're paying attention, you can see me in that video about me. I snuck a picture of me in there. If you're paying attention, not the young me. Would have been just the summer before I broke my leg. The only difference is a few pounds, and I dyed my hair after I was in the hospital. '60's the new 40. Just doesn't feel like it. No, no, I'm just my normal brown. After I died, I'd gone almost all gray. I was light enough. If you find me in that video, you'll know I was already pretty gray. But after being in the hospital, I was going granny gray. And so, no. And I dyed it, and I was like, Jesus, this is so dark. And I held it up to my daughter's hair. And my daughter's hair is twice as dark as it is. So I'm like, I guess it just seems that way. Yeah. Suffering a little this last couple of years, but it used to be I didn't feel old until I looked in the mirror. Until I looked in the mirror, I was as young as I always was. And you look in the mirror and oh. I used to tease my friends who died all the time. I said, no, I'm not dying. It took me a long time to get this perfect frosted look. Mirrors are evil. They were invented by the cosmetic companies. So when people ask me how old I am, I have to do the math. That's not like I wake up every day and go, oh, I'm blankety years old today. Oops. Don't fall in the water. No, you. I think I'd learn to not be summoned. But no. Ha. Fine, keep doing it. Go get him, guys. Go get him, kitty cat. Yeah, when I lost the perfect frosted look and it was going all gray, had to admit it. But I passed quite a few years before I started dying. Dying isn't good for you anyway. I only die every couple of months. I let quite a bit of root come in before I do something about it. Should be popping here any second now. Kind of get used to the timing on them. I'll go over here. These little questy guys, they have a name like a named, but they aren't technically a named. They're just a little something you kill to get a task or something. They don't even have any good loot. There we go. That'll teach you. Yeah, I can't believe those people that like change their hair color every 2 weeks or something. You don't realize what that's doing to your hair or your scalp, you know. I also have very light skin, so I didn't look very good with white hair. I was not meant to be a blonde. unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of games I play. I play hidden object games and things like that. And I play The Sims. Pretty laid-back games that don't really matter. I mean, really matter. And things can kill my character in EverQuest, and I do lose some from having that happen. But really, it isn't a big deal. I can't play like Fortnite or anything that relies on all those button mashings. My gamer friends always come in and tease me when I play EverQuest. Other than that, the only console game I play is like, summon me! But only console game I play is Rock Band. We field a whole band on our own. My oldest son drums. My second oldest will play bass, and/or the next oldest under him plays the keyboards. We play on the Xbox. It has keyboards. And my daughter plays lead guitar, and I sing. I love to sing. I'm not good at it. I sing well enough to score on the scoring. Luckily, it's relatively lenient. It's actually helped my singing a lot, being able to match it. I learned that I didn't have to match it in a head voice. I learned to sing down in my manly man voice. So we play Rock Band a lot, but other than that, these are my games. These are my peeps. Went and played left EverQuest when Daybreak took it over, and they haven't come back. They were having troubles with their guild anyway, and that was just kind of a nail in the coffin. So we play other games, but let's see if I'm too far. Okay, let's see. That's close enough. There we go. But I told them after I figured out how much I've paid for EverQuest, there was no way I'm not gonna leave it. Or not going to keep playing it. I spent enough money to make a game of my own. I had enough money to buy a car. They won't let you buy a car on $50 a month, but still. $50 a month and $100 a year, huh? Would be a deal. I'd get in a deal like that. Exactly. I love to sing, but I only torture my family. I mean, I'm not terrible. I can hold a tune, but I'm not great either. I have a very, as you can see, deep voice, and my singing voice is deep as well. So, if I sing Pat Benatar, I have to sing in my manly man voice. Yeah, we got two now. We be rocking. There, I got one of them here. Let's become another person. I would give him the zombie what for. I've always had a deep voice. Yeah, well, it was $3,000 an account for 13 years of EverQuest. My kids were in raiding guilds, so they had to have the top expansions every time they came out. Where'd she go? She's running away. No, my pet is playing with her. Dead pet, dead pet. Come along, lady. Let's go this way. So yeah, it was $3 grand an account. 3 accounts, that's $9 grand. That's a lot of money. play until they shut me down. Hoping that would guilt my kids into playing again, but it didn't. That was worth a try. They'll still take me out sometimes on other servers where their main characters aren't on, because they don't want anybody to talk to them from before. They had friends that they liked that they still kept in touch with on PlayStation Network or something, you know, or they Skype with, but other than that, that was it. You made them mad and they left you. Don't make them mad. Alright, well, I'm gonna run. They are there. Like, that never happened before. As I complain about it and don't do anything about changing my hunting tactics. Ha! You're mine. I'll use up all my goodies on this guy and then I'm gonna go. Oh, I did go an extra half an hour, so go do some exercises on my leg, or I'll never get out of the house. I may be on again later, but I doubt it. My kids will all start showing up here at Grandma's. House gets too loud. Crazy people running through, dogs barking. Other people playing games. It was nice chatting with you. Go ahead and find me anytime. Bump into anybody who's just dying to see someone play EverQuest, you know where to go. We'll kill this little feller one more here. Yeah, I've met the nicest people on YouTube. I mean, there are trolls. But I have met the nicest people. There aren't always nice people around you. There's always a nice person out there somewhere. Especially in Montana, there's not a whole lot of homestead and gardener types, or if they are, then they'll go wandering around chatting with each other much about it. I can't even find them on... Whoa, I'm spinning in circles back here in the corner. I can't even find them online. Occasionally I bump into someone from Montana. But even when I do, they don't want to chat. They're off trying to find someone from somewhere else to chat with. Alrighty there, and oh, I still have one more thing I can zap somebody with. I guess it's you. Come with me. Get him. Still gonna leech touch him, and then we're gonna harm touch him, and he's dead. That's why you're a Shadow Knight. All right. Yeah, well, that if people show up and ask to be moderators, you don't give a moderator to anybody you don't know. I'm not just going to pick a random person and say, sure, moderate. When you have moderator tendencies, tell people, if there's enough people in the room to talk to, if you tell people to drop a thumbs up or show support to the host of the stream, or go visit each other, or put some websites up in there. Well, I guess you can't if you're not already a moderator, but you know, those kind of things. Some things. Exactly, I hadn't even really met him ever before. That's why I said, well, you know, when you see show me some moderator traits, like running away as soon as I said no, then we'll think about it. you know, if there's enough people in there, you do some crowd control. You talk to people. You welcome people when they show up. You talk to new people when they come in. Sure, those are simple little things, and it doesn't take much. You do that a couple of times in somebody's stream, and often you get the wrench. You get the wrench in a good way. I am a moderator for Jen in Canada. She is a lady in Canada, Canada. It's a suburb of Ontario. She doesn't really homestead, but she does cooking, and she does live streams, so we chat a lot. And then I'm also a moderator in Ty Bivens' channel. I found her through Creator, could be, maybe even through Jen's, but she sings, and she sings beautifully. She sings so beautiful that they will copyright, not strike, but notify her when she sings. She sang a Madonna song a couple of streams ago, and they took her whole stream down because Madonna's publicists aren't very nice about that. Ty mostly comes on the weekends. She does, she's losing weight and bodybuilding. She's not quite our age, but getting there. She's about 40. And she talks about current topics. She does a lot about music. She's not a musician, but not a professional musician, but she can sing beautifully. And she also plays a little game. When people send in super chats, she pools the money for the super chat, and then has a game where you have to go and find videos at various people's websites that are supporters of her. You have to go out and find the title of a video, or you know what's happening, you know what hat is someone wearing 30 seconds in. It gets a little action for the people that are visiting her, and then she PayPals you money when you win. Yeah, Ty's kind of fun. And then she does exercise stuff in between. And Jen is just fun to talk to. Jen is really laid back and really nice. She didn't have any moderators for a really long time, and she would just sweet talk her trolls and they would go away. I don't know how she did it, but it does work well. I used to be a cashier. I was a deli manager, but I filled in as cashier when there wasn't a cashier available or it got too busy. And I would just, the snottier people get, the nicer I got. Nothing more frustrating to a troll than to be nice to him. Yep, Jen got the magic 1,000 viewers. So she's just working on view time. So every evening I put a different chunk of a playlist up. She's got several playlists. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go here. It was nice meeting you, having somebody to chat with while I'm playing. Normally I'm typing to everybody in general chat or in my group at the same time I'm running and hitting the keys for all the other characters. So the keys are going over here. Well, it's nice to meet you, Chris. I believe you said you don't have any videos, but I'm going to go over there and check you out anyway. And you have a nice day. Remember to like, comment, and share. And if you're not already, hit that big red button to follow us. See you again.